amis, hi guys, 250. At any given time, at most 250 individuals will get to enjoy this Jaeger-LeCoultre model. And only one of them will own serial 246. Right now, it's yours truly. I've just remembered actually that 246 was the number of the national road that was passing by where I was living in Tokyo, in Shibuya. Anyway, come on, Uptick, you're gonna say, oh, come on, can't you talk about watches that many viewers and potential subscribers can actually own, let alone find? Well, you guys know that this journey takes you to the deep end, and when you realize that every other passenger on the train has a Rolex quite similar to yours, you need to dig in deeper. And a watch that only tells the time and date is so common that you need one that wakes you up from your Patek dreams in the morning, one that lets you know how many hours St. Barth is from your location on this planet, one that's not just made of gold but of rose gold, one that's not made by a watchmaker but by the watchmaker's watchmaker, Jaeger-LeCoultre, JLC, La Grande Maison. So stick around for a few minutes and let's discover the Jaeger-LeCoultre Jaeger Master Memovox International. Master as in master control, having gone through 1000 hours of rigorous testing. Memovox as in it's an alarm, a complication that JLC is famous for. Thus the solid gold caseback for better resonance. International as in sort of a world time that is really just a reference disc in the middle that mostly is there to look good and have something to talk about at the bar with the other watch geeks that gave up on dating. This tuxedo timepiece is not your run-of-the-mill JLC. It's not even your run-of-the-mill Memovox International, as a very common run of 750 pieces was produced in steel and seems to remain in good demand by collectors. On the same day that I got my longer, I got this rather expensive timepiece, which used to retail at around $24,000. As you know by now, JLC's age easy on the wallet, and I got this one for less than half the original sticker price, which is still a ton of smackaroonies, but within the realm of achievability for watch-obsessed idiot like me. Now, I didn't mean to get this watch. I meant to find a steel one at a good price perhaps, or at least another JLC classic design to replace my recently sold Reverso. My local, respectable watch dealer turned out to have one of the rose gold Memovox Internationals. I checked it out, liked it, traded in my Datejust 2, which I felt was too flashy and can be replaced by a Daytona or Sky Dweller some other day in the look at me department in my collection. Yep, Uptick's rotation has gone hyperspeed. Oh, by the way, I sold 3 or 4 other watches, so that's where this cash is coming from. So let's look at this piece. The back is solid to provide better resonance, and it has a superb engraving as well. The strap is supple alligator, a bit on the thin side. I think a big watch like this could use a slightly thicker one, but it is made especially for JLC and is very comfortable. The clasp is a complex double deployant matching rose gold quality piece of machinery. The case is fairly simple with sheer flanks and a simple bezel tops it off and encircles the slightly domed sapphire crystal. The lower crown that operates the adjustment of the time and winding is signed with the brand logo, but the upper crown, which operates the alarm and the quick set date, has an indication of the direction in which the date is changed, a thoughtful addition that reduces the risk of an unfortunate manipulation between the hours of 9 and 3, 9 at night and 3 in the morning. So when putting this crown, turning upwards changes the date, turning downwards turns the inner disc where the little arrow for the alarm set is located. Do not expect a precise setting though. I've gotten within 2 minutes of my target at best so far. When pushing back the crown, unless you wind the alarm, nothing will happen. Speaking of winding, the watch has about 45 hours of power reserve. It is automatic, and the rotor spins on ceramic ball bearings, which reduces to nothing the wear on that part of the movement, but does add quite a lot of noise, amplified by the big case back. Also noisy are the hammers of the alarm, which tend to click around when you move your wrist. While not audible in the daytime, it is quite distracting at night, especially if you're going to keep the watch on the wrist like I do. One of my futile motivations to get this piece was to have something to wake me up in case I'm away from my phone in the morning, which often happens when one of my kids calls me at night after a bad dream and I end up asleep next to them. If I don't wake up, my son will miss his bus, so this is rather important because his school is bloody far. Speaking of nighttime, the watch is fully loomed, but unfortunately those beautifully faceted leaf hands carry just a very thin amount of lume, which, even fully charged, is hard to see, while the plots behind the indices shine longer into the night like a little Christmas tree. There is even lume on that alarm triangle. As you can see, there is a lot of gold on the dial, which offers a great contrast on the black. You have a date, which makes this watch all the more usable day to day or when traveling. And at the center, you will notice concentric circles across a well-chosen gray colored disc that carries nicely printed time zone cities. The hands are split into two facets and often appear dark gold on one side, cafe latte on the other, a subtle and fetching design feature. About the disc at the center, you will notice that cities on the opposite side of the planet are together in the same section. So to calculate what's the difference of time zones, you just have to calculate how many segments there are in between them. It's a bit, it's not really a world-time feature that's very usable. But in case of you really need to know where a specific city, I don't know, Rio or something is compared to Moscow, you can eventually find it out. On the wrist, it's a fairly heavy piece at 135 grams, so you will want to tighten that strap quite well. After a while, you won't notice it anymore, and the striking beauty of it all will do the rest. Is it a long-term keeper? We'll see. Maybe in the future, I'll trade it in for the right reverso. For now, I'll leave you with a demonstration on how to set the pièce de résistance of this unique and rare timepiece, the alarm. Au revoir mes amis.